Hello, welcome to Dreams of God and Monsters live show discussion. These are my lovely, oh, dear Lord, there we go, lovely co-hosts. Please check out their channels. They're always here. They're my dear friends. Also, Allie was supposed to be here. She's not here. Totally fine. She has other commitments. But please also check out her channel. It is linked down below. And yeah, welcome to Dreams of God and Monsters live show where I'll be talking about this non-spoiler, and then spoiler filled later. And yeah, let's go with the ratings. Obviously, full transparency, I have not finished the book, so I can't give a rating just yet. So, Sophia, what was your rating?
I don't rate books, but I really
Oh,
liked it.
sorry.
So not helpful. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Like, okay, give us like, what would you compare it to? Like your absolute favorite, and like where would it rank?
Yeah, I mean, it's not an absolute favorite. It's not up there with Sanderson or Durst, but it's better than a. If I were to rate it, I would probably put it somewhere like a 4-star. I would
Okay.
say.
And so that would be the last book, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of like the series overall?
Overall, the series. I mean, I binged it all in one go, so that should tell you something
Yeah,
already. Anyway,
I
so
will
yeah,
agree.
again, I really liked it. Not an all-time favorite, but definitely something I really enjoyed.
And Joanna, what was your rating for this?
I gave this one a 4-star. So this was my first time read of the third book, but
Mhm.
books 1 and 2 were rereads, and I gave them both 4 stars upon a reread. The first book I've read 3 times now, always with the intent of finishing, and I never did. So this is great, finally finishing out the series. I think that what I think about the series is that it becomes so much bigger than how it starts out. That's the first
Mhm.
thing. When you read that first book, the first maybe half of that first book, you're like you cannot imagine where it's going to go in the third one. And I think that for the time that it was written in, because this is like early tens, I think, YA, it compared to all of those YA books, I think it is one that stands out among all of those. Compared to what's been written today in YA, I'm not entirely sure because I don't read it that much anymore, but I still think that this one is above average. It's like a really good series. If you were looking for to dip your toes into fantasy and you read YA, this is a great one to read.
Yeah, I agree. And what do you think of like the series overall? Like, yeah, you said like
I do
where
think
would
it.
you rank it?
I love it when this happens with a series where it starts out in an almost unassuming way, and you're like, okay, I'm along for the ride. We're in Prague. Yay, I've never read a book set in Prague. And then it becomes what it became. And even in the second book, I mean, everyone who's here now will probably have read the second book. So seeing all of that when you go into these other worlds and just seeing the chimera and the angels, and it's just so much more than starts out with. And I don't know, I love it when a book or a series does that in general, where it becomes so much bigger than what you could have anticipated. And therefore I really like it for that reason. And then I like the tone of Laini Taylor's I mean, we've all read the duology, the Stranger Dreamer duology, and the tone of the second book is something I adore, and I find that you find it towards the ending of this series. And so I really love it.
I agree. Well, like I said, I haven't quite finished this last book yet, which I do apologize to everyone. I'm so sorry. It's my first time not finishing a book for a live show. We'll get to that. It's fine. But I do agree. From where we start in the first book, it's so different to where we are now, and I feel like that's a lot. Like it's very similar with a lot of YA during that time. Like it starts off with this concept and then it builds on that and then goes somewhere different till the end. Um, for example, like the Crown of Feathers trilogy, I feel like that's a good example for that, where it starts off something different and then it builds up to this whole thing at the end. And I do recommend Crown and Feathers, by the way. And with Daughter of Smoke and Bone, I agree with Sophia. Like, I think I should have binge read this as well because it's very bingeable. And from what I've realized, starting the first book, and I've been reading one book every month, that I think I should have read them closer instead of doing that one whole book a month, because obviously it's a very bingeable book. Certain things kind of escape you, character names, certain things. It's just like, can't quite remember that. So I think it's a very bingeable series for sure.
Mhm.
And I will say as well, this is not my favorite series. I still prefer the Strange to Dream or duology. I feel, I won't say maturity, but like I feel like the tone of the duology and like the writing itself is very different from the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy, and I prefer the duology over the trilogy. But I do like this series because of the main character Karu, her journey throughout the first book to now. I'm still not in love with Akiva. He really has no personality. He still has no personality. I don't know why he does not, but he doesn't. Because like if we're talking about Strange to Dream, or if you see our main character, oh god, Strange, he has way more personality and
Yeah.
character journey than Akiva. At least I
Yeah.
think. It's ridiculous, but I love the side characters, Susanna, obviously, and Mick. Did you guys end up reading Night and Cake and Puppets by any
Not
chance?
yet.
Neither.
Mm.
But I know it's about Susanna and Mick and how they met. I think that is the story. I do want to read
Yeah,
that.
it's their first date, I think.
Yeah, I do want to read that because I think it'll be really sweet.
Mhm.
And I think it might be under 100 pages. Not sure.
Yeah, I think it's quite short.
Yeah. Yeah, I think non-spoiler wise, we all really liked it. It's a solid series. I would recommend just binge reading it because it's very bingeable. Because the writing style is like kind of, it's beautiful, but it's also very like simple and it's easy to get through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
And
read a
even
lot of it
Clearly,
in,
I would agree.
yeah. I remember when we started the read along, and the first book I picked it up and I said, okay, I give myself like 4 or 5 days to read it because I'm not a very fast reader and I was not immersion reading that one. So okay, yeah, 100 pages per day should be okay, or a bit less, you know. And then I ended up reading it in like 2 sittings because it's just that easy to get through.
100%. I think I did the same with the first two as well. I read it in like 2-3 days. It's very easy to read. Yeah, I think I definitely regret not binge reading. I think that would be the way to go for me, at least, because I feel like some time away from it has been disconnecting me with the story a little bit. Because right now, where I am, the beginning part, I felt like it was very slow, and I'm like, I don't really care what's happening here, but I do care because I want to find out what happens. Yeah, I feel like I definitely regret not binge reading the series, so I would definitely recommend that.
Yeah, I feel like the start of this one is you get back to that setup formula again, because there's a plot shift really between 2 and 3, so you kind of have to set that up a little bit at the start. And yeah, I can see how if you spent some time away, you'd be like, okay, come on, let's
and I
do
think
it.
I had the same problem with the first and second book. If you remember the first book, I was like, okay, I'm not in the first half. The second half was great. Same thing with the second book, where I was like, why is the first half really slow, but the second half is really good? So again, yeah, it's happening in this third book as well. But yeah, I'm hoping it definitely picks up again for sure, because I've read the spoiler summary for it. I'm just really surprised where our main conflict ends in this book, because I know it doesn't end at the end. It ends like 3/4 of the way and then has a whole different thing coming towards the end, I think. We'll talk about that now, actually. We're going through spoiler chat, everyone. Also, hello. Welcome. Yes, we're going through spoiler chat, so beware. Okay. Yeah, I am pretty shocked that the war ends 3/4 of the way of the book, I think. And then we have a whole different plot, not whole different plot, but like it was a side plot, at least where I am now, and now has become like a full-blown end plot. And it's about Akiva, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
It's just it's an interesting choice. At least I think so.
Yeah. I did
I
not
think
really.
it's.
Oh, go for it.
Well, no, go ahead.
No, go for it.
I was just going to say, I think it's, the end plot is pulling together stuff that's been happening in the series on like a low level, so that it's giving us those answers that we want. And actually, I'm really glad that she didn't drag the war through the whole however many 600 odd pages, because it would have been too much, and we
Yeah.
wouldn't have been able to get those satisfying answers to some of the questions, like what is going on with Akiva and all these weird things that he can do that he shouldn't be able
Okay,
to do.
so you do get answers then.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Yeah, I was a bit shocked when because I was listening. I fully like audiobooked this one, and then all of a sudden I was like, wait, what? They're going back. This is over. Oh, what's? I was like, am I at the end of the book? So I looked. I was like, no, I still have a few hours to go. I was like, what's going on? And I found it weird, but yeah, I did like that we got those answers.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I did wish there was.
Were they satisfying answers? Or like, does the answers make sense?
They make sense. And
Yeah.
Okay.
I found them satisfying.
Because obviously with all the spoiler summaries, none of them say what it actually is. So I'm a bit frustrated with that. So I'll find out. But and we have new character here called Eliza, I think.
Yeah.
That surprised me.
Yeah. Because I think like she, from the spoiler summary, she came out of left field and she unlocks her memory and becomes a seraphim, I think. Has the seraphim been mentioned in the other two books before? Do you guys remember?
I think that they were mentioned, but not really explored.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I don't remember where in this book it happens, but Razga explains at some point what happens and what happened with all of that and what the relevance of it all is. I really enjoyed that part. I thought that part was really good.
I'm interested. I'm very
I
interested.
listened to that chapter twice.
Did you?
Oh,
Yeah, the where Razgat explains it all. I was like, wait, that was cool, but I need to hear it again. So I went back and listened to it again.
well, that's good.
I vividly remember I was walking to work thinking, this is so cool. This is so cool.
Yeah, like I so far I'm really enjoying her character. Like I'm trying to figure out who is she, why is she here, and why she's having these visions, and that makes sense. I'm excited to like actually hear Razgat's explanation for it because I think that'd be really cool. And I know that Karoo eventually finds all the lost souls underground, and I don't think we get Brimstone back. Is that right?
Right? Yeah, I don't think he comes back.
Yeah, no.
I think, which is fine by me. Like I have mourned him.
Yeah.
The first book, like it's okay if he doesn't come back.
Yeah. That's why I was trying to when we were talking about book 2, that's like some of the bits where I was covering my face because you were like, I'll be so annoyed if he comes back, and I was like,
I'm glad he came back.
The thing is, I think it makes sense to like. I don't know. I would have felt like it cheapened everything that Karoo did on her own if he had to come back. Like, I mean, she would bring him back, so not really. But it's kind of like that. The old generation needed to go, and like let the new people do their thing. You know. I'll say that. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
One of the characters that really surprised me that I just couldn't stand the first few times I read this book, but I was also a lot younger, but still, is Liraz, however you say her name.
Yeah. She's a very interesting character.
Yeah, she is, and I liked her already in my third reread of Daughter Smoke and Bone. I liked her more in the second book, and like in this one, I'm like, wow, I really like her character, you know, and that's something where I think that, as you said, that Akiva doesn't have any character. I find that Laini Taylor really excelled in creating side characters that are quite memorable, even in Issa and Brimstone and all of those characters, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because we explore more of Liraz's like emotions more in this book, and where I am, I think 10. I'm not sure what her real name is, but 10 is trying to cut off her arms.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I just love her Liraz's monologue of how she like wants it, and
Mhm.
like the kind of relief that she gets that someone is going to cut off her arms, and when she's trying to figure out before how can you cut off your own arms because you only got one arm, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it was such a really good it was a really good monologue for that. And yeah, she's a really really good character. I really like her.
I do too.
um with also with Karu and her like her conjuring bodies and with the souls and stuff. Brimstone has told her that it's a very like lonely life. I just love how Susanna comes in. She's like, you know, we can share responsibilities, right? She's like, no, I have to do this alone. Susanna's like, no, we're doing this together. I was
Yeah.
like, look, Susanna here with the
Yeah.
logic and the brains. Yeah, I think
I love that.
Susanna would be my favorite character in here.
Yeah. Karu often has that like self-sacrifice thing
Yeah.
going on where she's a bit like a bit
Mm.
brooding, a bit I have to do all this, but no. And that's what I love about Laini Taylor's at least the series, even also in the duology, I think you have that too, where it's like, no, it just doesn't come down to the chosen one. It comes down to the chosen few. And that's it's a group effort. It's the found family aspect taken to like extreme, you know, it's not just like you have your main character and the side characters are just there to help them. No, everyone is important in their own way, and I love that.
I like that too. Because, like, she does, like, Karu does have, like, qualities of, like you said, like, self-sabotage and, like, self-brooding and, like, wanting to take all the responsibility to herself. But I just, like, at least she has that ability to, okay, these people want to help me, let them help me, instead of just, like, no all the time. Because we know few characters out there in the bookverse, like, refuse to let other people help them. Oh my god.
Yeah, and she doesn't do that like annoying thing where she just like pushes people away for no apparent reason. Like there's the one bit in book 2 where she's like, Susanna, you need to go now because shit's about to hit the fan. But when Susanna comes back and is like, no, we're good, she's like, okay, fine.
Exactly.
Yeah. She's no stupid Clary, let's say that.
Oh my god.
I hate that so much when characters are like that, and they think they have to carry the weight on their shoulders on their own, you know, or the weight of the world on their shoulders. They're like, no, really, that's not how it works.
Not even Clary, like Jace. What a stubborn idiot! I swear to God.
I always wish every single book that I read where he was in it, I was like, I wish you were dead. But again, I really do like character death, so
yeah. Well, the main thing with this trilogy is the romance, right? Let's talk about that. How do you feel about the romance overall in this series?
Even though it's a big part of the story, it wasn't the main draw for me.
I agree with you.
I was more in it for the magic and the mystery and even the war. Like the romance was like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. But you know, it was just there. I wasn't like, oh, I gotta know if they end up together. Also because it's just like, well, they're obviously gonna end up together, so what?
Yeah. Like for me, I feel like there's a lot of telling and not showing with this, with the whole romance. At least the first book, yeah, I fell in love with it. But once like that whole thing happened where Akiva says that he killed Brimstone and everything and all that, and Karu was like, okay, I'm done with you. And I'm like, yeah, you're not done with him. You're just angry. And I appreciated she took the time to be angry with him throughout the second book, because that's realistic, right? And I'm fine with that. But because of that, I'm like, okay, I'm not really invested with the romance anymore, because one, Akiva has no personality, and two, I feel like there's a lot of telling now instead of showing with the romance. There's just a lot of like looking and knowing. You know, it's just like, oh, I can see he comes into a room without even seeing him. I'm like, okay, you said that like 10 times already. Like, I get it.
Yeah, I found that the romance in the first book, especially once you hit that flashback scene with her
Yes.
past, you feel it, and you feel like, oh, these characters, like there was a pull, and you feel it even before you know about her past. There's a pull between them that you can't explain until you know. But after that first book, I was just like, oh, okay. Like,
Yeah, like
there's
that's
another romance. I don't know if you know about it, and I don't want to spoil you for it. That happens in this third book.
fine. You can tell me, it's fine.
Okay, so Liraz and Ziri, I found their romance way more believable
Yeah.
and way more like, I need them to be a thing,
Yeah.
That
Me
wait,
too.
isn't Ziri? Oh no, Ziri
Is
does
in
die, but
Theo.
someone gleans his soul, right?
He's
He's in
in the wolf's
Thiago's
body.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So like
Yeah.
Thiago dies, but someone gleans Ziri's soul, right? So he can live later.
Yeah.
Okay, that's so
So,
cute. I love
yeah, Ziri
that.
sacrifices himself to be able to take over the body. Otherwise, Karu would have to bring back Thiago in the second book, and then Ziri's like, I'll give up my original flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he's in and like their relationship is just so cute, and you can tell.
I love that. I'm looking forward to that. I think that's a perfect match. Oh my god.
It is. It really is.
Yeah,
I didn't know
it's
I
cute.
needed that romance, but I do.
It's cute.
Same. I didn't think about it, and then when I started seeing the first like hints, I was like, oh, "This is the romance of the story."
Yeah. Apart from Mick and Susanna, they're just kiss.
They're adorable.
They're so adorable. They're like literally made for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love like they're just humans, but they affect so many people around them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially when like Mick plays his violin, it's like ultimate piece for everyone. It's like creating that environment for them. I love that.
And I love seeing that they were not helpless.
Yeah.
I love that's what I love a lot. Like a lot of my like favorite, even like Marvel, some of my favorite characters are like, Black Widow. She literally has no powers, but she still stands among all of them and like fights for herself. I love those types of characters. They're great.
Yeah. And I like those kinds of relationships in books too, where we actually see the couple together being good together and good for each other, and their relationship working well.
Like see it instead of telling.
Yeah.
And I don't think that Karu and Akiva had that chemistry after like book 1. Like book 2 and 3, I didn't feel that chemistry.
I think what happens is that Lani Taylor ends up relying on their history, which we only saw a little piece of in that flashback. It wasn't enough for us to sort of be invested in that part of their relationship, and they weren't together for long enough as Karu and Akiva for us to really be as much behind that. So it's again that thing of showing, not telling, and we're not even shown. We're just sort of said, this happened, they had a thing, it was very important, good, let's move on.
Yeah.
Also, I'm really curious about I think they're called Stormbringers. They like giant, the birds in the sky.
I don't remember exactly what they're called, but yeah, Stormbringers,
Stormbreakers, or something like that. Like, does that creature get explained as to why it's there?
I can't remember.
It comes back. I don't remember if it's because I'm telling you, I inhaled the whole thing today, so I don't remember if there's an explanation for it, but you do see all of that again.
Okay, because I thought they were cool creatures.
Isn't that the tie-in with the duology?
Is there tie-ins in this? Like,
in this one, I don't know. I know that in Muse of Nightmares, you see Karu. That's all I know.
I remember that. I thought like with the whole portal situation that's happening right now, they would probably like glimpse into like the duology world, but I don't know. Obviously, I don't know if that happens or not. That's why
Were there not flying creatures in Muse?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I kept on thinking that one person that was like gone from the world in Muse for so long, that one of the two, were they twins? Were they just sisters?
They're sisters, yeah.
Sisters.
I kept on thinking that one of them would be maybe stuck in this world,
Yeah, like Eliza, I also thought maybe Eliza was Karu's was it sister or like stepsister? You know, the girl who betrayed her. I thought maybe
Oh.
it was her like disguised. You know, like the beasts are coming for you. Like you know, I don't know. Obviously, I'm wrong.
You will find out who Eliza is.
Yeah, I'm obviously
It's
wrong.
cool. That's all I'll say.
I know. I'm really excited to learn about that. I think that's really cool. And also, obviously, Liraz and Ziriam. So I can't get over that.
It's a very it's like the cutest, most
It's
wholesome,
It's very
best
cute.
relationship ever.
Especially
Um,
because Liraz is so like anti-Chimera.
Mhm.
I know.
And
And
anti-feelings.
she's literally the brooding male, like with
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
I love how that
Yeah.
trope is twisted to her.
hmm
I
Yeah.
love that. Also with Akiva being crowned prince, I think that happens with his like, is it his mom, like the queen scarab? He gets like appointed as prince or something like that for his kingdom.
I don't know if he's necessarily a prince
No,
per se.
there's something that happens to, let's just say, a
Yeah.
few people.
Mm.
Just tell me. Just tell me. We're here. This is a spoiler chat. Just spoil it.
So like the thing is that, so, and Sophia, correct me if I didn't understand it right. The thing is that the myths of like the god stars hasn't yet come to pass. So time is not really linear, and so they are like the gods.
Right. Interesting.
It was a bit bamboozling at the end. I'm like, I should reread this ending again because I'm like, but I literally finished like 30 minutes before the live show. I was like, no, I need to get a grip.
So does that mean Akiva is like one of them, like a god?
Mhm.
All of them are
All of them are.
Wait, who all of them?
like,
All the main characters.
yeah, Karu, Mick, Susanna, all of them. Yeah.
hmm
Ah, interesting.
And that ties in to the explanation that Razgat gives. But I don't want to
Okay.
spoil that for you because
No,
that
yeah.
that whole explanation is just so well done. So you can look forward to that. But it does tie it all together nicely, which I like.
I'm gonna try and either finish it tomorrow or the next day. We'll see. But I definitely do want to finish this.
It's good.
Look, obviously, I don't have any more like thoughts. Do you guys have any more? Obviously, because that's like that's my extent. That's all I know. Do you guys have any more like topics or like certain things you want to discuss about this book or the entire series?
Thought that one thing that was interesting was that when was it? It's like somewhere in the book so what's his name, Jael?
Mm-hmm.
I keep on thinking of the Faithful and the Fallen when I hear
Wait,
that.
does he get prison? Like he just go to prison, right? He doesn't die or anything like that.
He doesn't die because he taunted Liraz so much, and then when she's like, because he wants to die, and she's like, nah, I'm gonna let you suffer because it's way better than just giving you what you want.
Good job.
And so he goes to like Rome, right? Of course, because the angels and the Vatican and all that stuff. And then later on in the book, they find out the pit of the dead chimera in
Morocco, I think.
in Morocco. And then there's this whole discussion about like, of course, if they find out that the angels went to frickin' Rome and the beasts and the monsters are in the Middle East, like it'll only make the wars between humans and religions worse. And I thought that it was really interesting how they brought that how she brought that little aspect in, you know?
Yeah, it is very interesting. Yeah, so that's why all the like scientists are trying to keep it quiet.
Yeah. But other than that, I don't know, do you have any more thoughts, Sophia?
Well, obviously it's spoilery, but the aunt, is it aunt? Like not really aunt, but like
the grandma.
adopted aunt. Yeah, I wanted to throttle her so much. I was like, you are a complete. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was ready to dive into the page and just like slap that bitch.
Wait, who is this?
You know the grandma that Karu, like she had like a stand-in grandma in the real world. We hear about her already in the first book that she would go to and stuff, because Brimstone needed her to have like basically like a human, how do you say that, like
Human
person.
home.
Yeah, and especially when she was like before 18, that she needed to have someone a guardian. There you go.
I need to read this like back to back. I swear to God. But I remember that now. Oh, she's in this. Interesting.
Yeah, she is.
She is. And how?
Mm-hmm.
No.
And when was it when Brimstone died? Carew had gone to her, be like, "Can you give me your wishes so I could find him?" And then she's like, "I don't have any more wishes." I don't know if you remember that.
And then I think they steal from her, right? Is that it?
Because she's
They
a
steal-
lying liar.
Yeah. I remember reading that. I was like, who is this person? Like, who is this?
Yeah.
And I remember. Okay. Oh.
Yeah. She's
Good
like
old Suze.
really rich and something else that rhymes with rich.
Rude. You
She
can
was
say that.
smuggling a lot of wishes still.
Yes. But I again, that was just another moment where I was just so proud of, in particular, Mick in that situation. I was like,
because he's so cute. He's just like,
I know.
can I grab my violin, please? Because then I can at least play some music. And she's like, fine. And then he's like,
Get it.
I know. Yeah. What a great. The side characters are like the highlight of this book, I feel like. And also,
even more than Carew.
Yeah.
I feel like that too. I'm not in love like Carew. Like, I appreciate her as a main character, but my love lies with the side characters. And obviously will be Laura's and Ziri's romance. I can't wait for that. It's so cute. And also like find out the lore of the world as well, like what you said with the gods and stuff like that. That's really interesting. Yeah. I'm very pleased that I read this series. I feel like it's kind of a series, like a classic YA series to read.
Yeah.
And it's very different from other YA series as well.
Sure.
Obviously, especially the tropes we've discussed. Like the romance, like the faded romance, I feel like has not been done well. Like it's a lot of like telling, showing. The first book it did well. The rest of it, I don't feel like it's done well. But with the other two books, I feel like that's not the focus of it. It's like the plot and the lore and the story and the war and everything like that. That's the focus with it. And yeah, I really enjoyed my time reading this series. I will definitely revisit it again. And I definitely do want to reread the Stranger's Dreamer duology now and see if there's any like Easter eggs in there now that I've read this. Maybe.
Yeah.
Because I really thought Jael was like this person that not Jael, the original, like the king that I really thought he was the guy that just produced babies. And like you know how in Strange Dreamer they have like babies, right? I really thought he was the guy that's like also doing it as well.
Oh wait, there is a little hint in this book of blue people.
In the third one?
Yeah.
Ooh.
They say something about originally blah 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 people were blue, and I was like, blue?
Oh. Like you mean the God Stars? Or like someone else?
I think it's something else.
It's a very small throwaway comment, isn't it?
Yeah. But then if you read the duology first, then you're like,
blue people.
Well, Lenny Taylor just clearly has a thing for the color blue.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I love blue. I like when authors like connect their worlds together. Obviously, Sanderson does it, and I can't wait to read his other works to see how it connects. Yeah, and I just love when books do that, shows do that, movies do that. I mean, I love Marvel. And look where it is now. It's going into the multiverse, and that also reminds me of this because like it has portals and like it talks about the other like universes and stuff. Carew was mentioning it like one of the pages where like the worlds are up for grabs. I was like, yeah,
you get that more towards the end.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, cool.
Definitely.
I think this year's theme is multiverse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I actually rewatched the new Spider-Man movie the other day. I'm like, this is like an amazing movie. I
That
don't
was
know.
such a good
It's
movie.
an amazing movie. Just randomly. But yeah, I don't have obviously any more thoughts because I failed. But you know what?
Oh no.
Life is busy.
I know. I know. My dad's here, so it's a bit busy, and also more family are coming in like the next 2 weeks. It's gonna be great.
I have read 2 books exactly in this month of April, so
I'm just so proud that I read Hero of Ages. I'll tell you that. Like I'm just so proud of myself for doing that. After 2 years. 2. I'm just so proud.
I was
I
very
finally
happy to get your messages.
I know.
You
I
made my
was
day.
like, finally I get what everyone's talking about.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm in the club.
You are.
Yep.
But yes, okay. That's it for today. Our next series, starting this month, April, actually, we're starting the Dandelion series, The Grace of Kings by
This
Kim.
month.
This month is fucking crazy. It's the live show for. Oh wow, it's actually going to be changed. We'll see. We're still discussing it. We'll see. The live show will be in May, either the second weekend or the third weekend of May. We're starting with Grace of Kings. If you want to join the Dandelion series along, the Discord will be linked down below. If you want to join us, Joanna will be one of the co-hosts as per usual.
Maybe. If I can
Maybe.
get to it.
It's totally fine. Like I obviously there's other people as well there. As long as someone talks with me, I'm fine. Just anyone, someone. That's fine. But yeah, we're doing the Dandelion series, so come along, and I look forward to seeing everyone there. If you're there, that's fine. I'm so weird today. I'm so tired.
Go to bed. Isn't it like really late for you?
It's only 10:30.
Oh. No, then you're just being weird.
I was out all day. Okay, I was out all day. I had good food, good vibes. Sleep.
Good vibes is all that matters.
Yeah, I had a nap in the afternoon as well. Like I don't know what's my problem. I
It's
don't
just,
know.
when the vibes are that good, sometimes it's just like,
Me and my
well,
mom were like reading, like she was reading something and I was reading this. And then she was like, I'm falling asleep. I'm like, you know what? Me too. Let's just have a nap. She went to nap. I went to nap. It was great. And then we woke up very hungry and we went to dinner. It was very good.
Excellent.
It was very
Sounds
good.
great.
It was, it was very good. But yes. Okay. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you to both of you for being here and discussing this and
Thank
also
you for
being
having
up with
us.
me.
thank you for having us.
Thanks. Obviously, both of you will be on my channel like all the time. I'm sure. They're just my usuals. And don't forget, everyone, to check out their channels. It is linked down below. They are obviously wonderful people. Please check them out. And we will all see you next time. Bye.
Bye.